What's up YouTube, Barcode here. I'm bringing you a Dragalia Lost video. This is a new game that came out yesterday and I've been playing it non-stop. A lot of my subs and followers know me from Heir of Light and Dungeon Hunter Champions, so hopefully I bring on some with my type of videos for this game as well. I'm more of an informational, educational kind of guy, a little bit of comedy, very small, but I hope to be able to help new players, free-to-play players, the minnows, whales. You don't need my help, but maybe you can learn something from me. I just have a lot of experience in gacha type games, a lot of experience in life, and knowing how to complete certain things. I'm just a good strategist. I love these types of games. Today I'm going to talk about the main couple things that new players want to think about every single day. Just some tips and tricks to go along with playing the game. The first thing you want to think about when playing is getting your daily duties completed. Every single day there's things that refresh, things that you can do that you might miss out on the last day, whatever the case may be. When your resources are limited, especially for the free-to-play folks, every single day matters. The grind matters. You don't want to fall behind too far. Obviously the whales have the advantage, but you want to be able to make sure you utilize every single day possible. First thing to talk about is the daily quests. So in this emblem right here, the daily quest, I've already completed mine, but you want to complete these daily quests that pop up every single day at reset. It'll give you decent rewards to progress you into the game. The other daily thing that you want to be doing is in the events tab down here. In the events, every single dungeon has a daily bonus, so you definitely want to get into every single avenue of power, fortune, the element dungeon, the dragon trials. Every single thing has a daily bonus, so you definitely want to complete those to get the daily bonuses. And you know, with some of the daily bonuses, I mean, they can be pretty substantial. I mean, these for the dragons, for example, the dragon fruit and the squall scale, I mean, they level up your champions and your dragons, and it's just good to use these daily bonuses every single day. Another valuable thing in this game is wyrmrite. So wyrmrite is a very valuable tool. It lets you refresh energy, it lets you summon, and to talk about summoning, don't ever single summon. I do the daily deal because I have some of these diamonds from spending a small bit amount of money, but you never want to single summon. You always want to do the tenfold summon. So with the thing with that is you get 1 4-star or higher guaranteed, which is great. In the game there is a pity factor too, so you can see a 5-star pull eventually over time if you don't get to one, but wyrmrite is very, very important. I would always do the tenfold summon if you have about like 2,500 wyrmrite, which is really easy to get, and I'll show you how. But about 2,500, so then you know you'll spend your 1,500, you go down to about 1,000 wyrmrite, but then you still have enough wyrmrite to refresh on energy to keep playing the game as long as possible. There's a couple places to get the wyrmrite. The best place to get it right now is joining co-op. So you have these wings up here that let you join co-op so many amount of times. You can either start a room yourself, or you find a room. Once you complete the room and you know work with 3 other players to defeat the dungeon, you actually get wyrmrite. It's about 50 wyrmrite each dungeon. There is a cap. I don't 100% know the total of the cap yet, but it's very important. It's a ton of wyrmrite. I don't know if it resets daily or weekly. However, it is a ton of wyrmrite. Definitely always use your co-op wings when you can. Another good place to get wyrmrite is the quest line. So just going through the game, doing the quest lines, you will get a ton of wyrmrite. Every single clear, if you clear it with three stars, which it's not stars, it's something else, but if you clear it with 3 saint emblems, you will get Wyrmrite as an achievement for completing all with no one dying and no continues. A third place to get Wurmpints, which is if you're capped on energy. I mean, you don't have any more energy, you don't have any more wings for co-op, quests, you can't get any farther, and you just need some Wurmpints to refresh your energy or whatever the case may be. If you go into the castle and you go into adventure stories and dragon stories, every story you read, which you can skip over, you get 25 Wurmpints. So, I mean, you click on a story, you download it, you can actually just skip right through it and get a bonus Wurmpint. If you're not into like the story type, the story to this game is actually really nice, but if you can actually just skip it here, and then you'll get an achievement for watching that story. Well, this is 10, so I think it's different for the type of story it is, but because I've had 25 before, but you know, you get Wurmpint. So it's just by making 3 simple clicks, waiting a couple seconds, and you get Wurmpint. What to do after all of your daily routine? So you've done everything. You've done your events, you've done your quests, you know, you're capped out on energy. Another thing to do is to check the shop here, which is the 3rd button on the left. There is a couple things that you really want to look into buying weekly and daily as a free-to-play player. Minnows and whales, we can look into different other things, but I can show you what to really focus on daily and weekly. For daily purchases in this shop, I would suggest buying these 3 dragon fruits and 3 consecrated waters. The dragon fruits actually increase your dragon's XP. The waters, I think, no, the dragon fruits increase the bond with your dragon at the dragon roost, and then the waters actually increase their XP. So it's definitely good to buy. If you have some of these diamonds, if you spend a little bit of money, I buy the skip tickets every day. I mean, why not? It's just very helpful in certain situations. But definitely buy these 2 as a free-to-play player. Gold is actually pretty easy to get in this game, and I can show you that too. If you have these diamantium crystals, I would definitely just buy the talon stones, at least for the first week or 2. Meaning that is because there's a lot of upgrades that need these when it's building or whatever the case may be. It's just good to have. You can get them in drops pretty easily too, in dungeons, but for the first week or 2, I think this is going to be a good purchase. You can't go wrong with these. Alright, now let's talk about the Halidome. So the Halidome is your castle, pretty much, your castle grounds, okay? So I'll go into mine and show you where I'm at right now. The castle is very important. You need to definitely focus on this. This is kind of like for, you know, Clash of Clans type of players. You know, this is definitely something to look forward to and to focus on, because main end game goal is to actually get your smith. From what I've seen, is get your smith as high level as possible so you can craft these weapons, and then you have to grind more weapons to get them stronger and to get the elemental weapons so you can do more damage on your elemental type character that you have. So it's definitely good to focus on here. The first thing you want to focus on is the Halidome, which I have it upgrading right now to a level 4, okay? Which 41 room rate, okay, I'm gonna do that. So now it's a level 4, my facility level is 100. Every Halidome actually has a requirement. I think level 3 was like facility level 60. Level 4, you had to do a facility level 100. And what that means is upgrading all of your, you know, 100 times all your buildings. It doesn't matter which buildings you do, but it's got to be up to 100. Okay. So like for example, I've done the mines like 14 and 14 and 15, but you know my water is only 7, fire is only 6. So as long as everything adds up to 100, then you're okay. I'm gonna go ahead and level up this smith, and then I'm just gonna rush it because why not? I get enough wyrmrite anyway, so I'm okay. So what this level 4 smith does for me, oh, I can actually level up to number 5 too. I'm just gonna do that because this is important, and I'll show you that in a minute. Can I do it one more time? No, I need a level 5 halidom. Okay, and that's the main focus that I'm gonna just preach to you, is definitely focus on the halidom to get that up as fast as possible. It takes a lot of, see there's those talus stones again. It takes a lot of farming. We don't have a fire dungeon yet. It's only been nature and light, so we have to wait for a fire dungeon to level it up, or you can buy the $7.99 pack. Whatever you want to do is up to you, but definitely focus on that first. Then focus on your smith. If you can't build them up anymore, definitely just start building everything that you can, focusing on your resources first. So resources being your gold mines, and then actually your dragon tree. And your dragon tree produces dragon fruits to feed to your dragon. So definitely focus on them. Then focus on your elemental stones, and then you just want to gradually build them all up, so that you can have a high facility level, because my next halidom level 5 facility level needs to be 200. So I need to upgrade all of my buildings for a total of 200. Every time you upgrade something, it goes up 1. So I have 98 more upgrades to go. Another quick tip is, once you log in, there is a collect all button, so you don't have to go through all the map looking for, you know, clicking on your resources. I have them all right here anyway, but always click on that, and then it collects everything for you, so you don't have to go searching for it. Another quick tip for your dragon roost up here. So your dragon roost, you can get it from the main menu as well in the castle button, but if you are lacking on, say, you need fire, for example, for your halidom, or whatever the case may be, you can actually get elemental stones from a dragon that you choose. So say I want to level up all these dragons, you know, the ones that I'm using anyway, but say I need some fire mats to level up one of my characters in the mana crystals. So I'm going to click on the fire dragon here, and I'm just going to gift them, and I have some leaf clovers just for this instance, but every time you feed your dragon, he's going to give you a gift back. It's always random every single time, but majority of the time he actually gives elemental stones. See, there's 5 and there's actually 2 here. Now if I switch it over to, say, like my dark dragon, and then I gift him out, you know, it could be different this time. It could be, it's been multiple different random gifts that he gives. So it's always good just to always maximize your resources. So yeah, he didn't give me anything that time, but he gave me experience to feed him, so I am okay with that. They always give a gift back, which is nice. If you're looking to get to that next step in you know, your quests or your dungeons because you want better mats or whatever the case may be, the main thing to get into these dungeons is your team's might. The might is the total of your whole team of all 4 champions on your specific team that you have. Right up here, mine's 7120 right now, but it's the total of every single one. Every single champion has their own individual might score, which is down here, 2003, and then you just add them up, you know, all 3 units. So that's how you get the might. The best ways to go about getting might is a couple different ways. The best way to get might is actually through experience leveling. So I've calculated a lot of different things, and I've seen how much XP and might is given when in terms of XP or weapons or the worm cards or the dragons. So just XP level is definitely the best way to raise their might. I think you get about 8 might points per level. The hard thing about that is as a free-to-play player, I mean, you literally have to grind the power dungeon so you can get the experience crystals to level him up, and it takes a lot. Once you get to a higher level, it takes a lot of stones to actually upgrade them to the next level. So I mean, I have 53, I have 2 gold crystals, which are the higher ones, and just 2 gold crystals doesn't even get them a 54. So I'll just try to get it all the way, and there we go. So as you can see, it's 14 to 21, so this level gave me 7. So you know, it's 7 to 8 roughly. I say 8 roughly, but that's the best way to raise the might to get to the next level is by XP. And now the most important thing to this video is another way to raise up a character's might as well, is mana crystals. So mana crystals are very important. This gives you ability boosts, stat boosts, a lot of different other things to your characters that you definitely want to focus on. So I'll go into mana circles here. It's in upgrade, and I'll just go on to my Dark Berserker. Now, it takes a lot of elemental stones and also mana stones, which you get from just leveling, achievements, the quests, co-op, and dungeons, etc. You gather these along the way. So there's the mana stones here. And you know, each one has a certain amount of mana stones that it takes to unlock, but then the last one is always about elemental stones. So I think for the first week or two, every single elemental dungeon that comes up, I would just farm that half the day, because elemental stones are needed for buildings, they're needed for champions, they're needed for a lot of different things. So definitely farm those elemental dungeons. One thing to actually focus on with the mana crystals and to think about it is getting to this second new skill. This second new skill will actually be a second ability that you can use, like for example, the fire main guy deals flame damage to enemies in a line. So you can use one skill, you can use a second skill. It's just more damage, more burst damage, but definitely focus on that before anything else. It'll help you along the way progress and do more damage, obviously. If you are low on a certain element and it's not that actual day that you can farm that specific element, you can actually farm them in the normal quest line. It's a lot more random of not getting it, but you can get it. And I did this for Dark for a while, and I skilled them up that way. So if you need Dark Stones, like for example, Dark Stones, Chapter 5 will drop Dark Stones in all the quest starts, and that's even the Nightfall and also the Shadow Orb. So you can farm that in the regular quest line. If you go to Chapter 4, that's going to be the Light Stones. So you can actually get light here. Okay, and then going down the line, Chapter 3 is going to be fire. Okay, Chapter 2 is going to be nature, or water, sorry, and Chapter 1 is going to be nature. Okay, so if you need, just, you know, if it's not that day and you just need some orbs to get you to the next stop into building your might, definitely just farm it that way. The next best way to get the might increased for a champion is upgrading their dragon. So if you upgrade their dragon here with some food, you'll see the might here. If you raise it, it goes about 4 might points per level. I think it's an average about 3 to 4, but it's about 3 to 4, as you saw. But definitely will raise your might up that much more. The problem with leveling up with dragons is the amount of the ability to be able to do that. You need the specific food to upgrade them, and you just don't. That's limited. You know, you can't just take them into a dungeon and level them up or whatever the case may be. That's limited. So it's not as good as XP farming, but you can. It's about the second best way to increase might if you're looking for that might increase. The third best way would be Wurmpints. So to increase that might, you want to get high Wurmpints and then also level them up. Let's see if I can actually level one up right now. I'll do this one. I don't have any to be able to do that, but let's see if I can just use some of these. Okay. So this only raised actually 1 point per. No, it's like 1 to 3. So I think I have it to average 2.04 might every level. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go up that much, but it's averaging about 2.04 might per level. So that's the third best way to raise your might to get to that next point that you need to get to. Last on the might list, but it's definitely not the least important, is weapons. So weapons give you the lowest average might per level when you level up these weapons. However, this is your bread and butter for damage. So I'm going to do a whole nother video on weapons at a later date, but it's definitely important to always level up every single aspect of your champion to raise that might. But weapons are definitely the lowest, but they do your damage. So they have more of a strength increase than most others, but once you start getting into crafting and getting to these elemental weapons to do more damage from that element that is holding it, it's definitely worthwhile. Another helpful tip for new players is the helper. So if you go down to more and go to not options, but go to friends, so you have the helper settings. This isn't really to help you, but this is to help others. I personally have set my helper for when somebody friends me as my healer. Once you can request random people to be your friend, but the really good thing about this is once you are their friend, you can use their ability up to 3 times in a single dungeon. So it's very beneficial to actually friend someone and use someone that's very active and has a good champion or a character. I don't know if you call them a champion, character, whatever you want to call them. But I use mine as a healer so people can take them in, and if they, because a lot of people are building damage dealers. I mean, you start with a damage dealer, so you might not even get a healer RNG wise. So I have a 4-star healer, Cleo, in here. If someone friends me and uses my helper, they can heal their team up to 3 times. I think that's very beneficial. So that's all the time I have today. With this game, I plan on streaming it. I think the co-op option in this game is huge, and I think that's a great way to stream this game. I'll probably just jump on co-op and just have people jump in, hopefully, in my channel, and we can just co-op some things. We can, whoever creates the room actually uses the stamina, and then the other people use their wings. So you can kind of balance it out. One person use stamina for a while, and then switch, and it's just awesome, awesome thing. And plus with the wyrmrite rewards in doing co-op, it's just a great feature to have. So if you have any comments, criticism, please feel free and comment below. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go ahead and follow me on Twitch, and I will talk to you in the next video. Peace.